The clinking of the grenades against the metal walls and floor echo across only shortly before being drowned out by the shouting of the guards as they come to arrest the 4 who attempted to assassinate the colonial leader. Werbo and 420 open fire as the explosions light the halls and screams of pain can be heard, with the guards returning fire on the 4 heroes. Fitz can be heard surrendering, Nareem can be heard begging for diplomacy, and Werbo shouts his Wookiee screams. Quickly, a few thumps, a body hits the floor, and blaster fire continues before we begin. And of course, as I bring this back, for some reason, Zoom is all fucked up. Hello, everybody, and welcome back.
Are we live now?
We are live now.
Oh,
Just
man.
went live now, but I have to fix Zoom as we do that. So just keep talking. It's fine. Everything's fine. Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 1 of Star Wars Resurgence. I hope you guys enjoyed the opening. I saw people freaking out, so that's a good thing. Yes, things have changed wildly, and hopefully the players have at least read the paragraph I gave them.
He gave it to us literally 2 seconds ago.
I gave you the video like an hour ago, though. So
Don't worry, I watched the video.
that's all that matters. You watched the video, so
I did my homework.
yeah.
Hey, and you were the first one here, Krendor. I don't know.
Krendar's on top of
Yeah,
things,
I don't
man.
know.
I was the first one here.
Krendor's like all over it today. I have a feeling like we should just like destroy 420 just to reward Krendor for his valiant effort. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Nothing says thank you like killing your character. So let's do it.
It's only been like, a month and a half since we last played.
Oh yeah, I think it was like the week before PAX.
Yeah, it was something crazy. PAX
No,
South
it was-
or
it was-
PAX East?
East.
Maybe.
I don't know.
West.
Yeah, PAX
All right,
East.
that's good. We're back.
I thought it was in like 2011 that we played last personally. So I don't
It
know.
may have been.
Yeah.
What are the rules again?
Yeah, I
How do we
know.
do this?
How do we play this fucking game?
All right, so I only roll 20s.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because
Yeah,
numbers matter. Because numbers
Numbers are
matter.
very
on the-
important.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Awesome.
Dude, I got a wine with Abraham Lincoln on it.
Oh, there you go.
Look at that.
There you go. The first Republican. There you go. Delicious wine. Is it red wine? Tell
I
me it's
have
red
one.
wine.
Of course it's red.
Yeah,
There you go.
Drinking
Beautiful.
buddies. Perfect. Great.
I pour it into 420 and it just like falls in all
Clink.
over him.
Clang.
If you want, I
Whoa.
can join you. I can join you with scotch. I mean, hold on.
I have a bottled Diet Coke.
Yes.
That's what I have.
Is it a glass bottle, though?
Please,
Just
please.
pour it into a wine glass. Nobody can
Oh, yeah,
tell.
I can't hear anything.
I love bottles.
All right. I'm just checking.
I love bottles. What?
That's funny.
I love bottles too.
Oh, man.
All right.
What?
What was that? I don't know what's happening.
You can't even hear it. He just is a warrior and he needs food badly.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, that thing.
Boy, I need
That's
food
the,
back.
that's the life I'm living.
Wait, have you
God.
not eaten food?
You know what? I had a.
I haven't either.
Whoa, shit!
What?
I had an IKEA.
What?
I know. Someone brought it to the office. I had an IKEA cinnamon roll tonight.
Please
first
tell me it was mediocre.
Yesterday, when someone brought them into the office, then too, and I ate one then too. But still, 2 days in a row. That's the story I was going to tell you. I've never been to IKEA, but someone brought in IKEA cinnamon rolls.
Dude,
They're delicious.
I've never
pretty
had
good.
IKEA cinnamon roll.
They're
I've
delicious. What
had
world do
IKEA
we live in?
hot dogs and IKEA meatballs. Are their cinnamon rolls that
the
good?
cinnamon rolls are better than the meatballs, honestly.
Cinnamon rolls
feel
were
like I
delicious.
wanna
I'm
go on a-
insulted.
I want to go on a vlogging adventure with you, Krendor, where we just go to IKEA together. Can
Maggie,
we make
have you
this
ever
happen?
been to IKEA?
I mean, I've been to IKEA. I just feel
I've
like
never been to IKEA. I don't know IKEAs. Everyone looks at me like I'm
Yeah.
crazy. I've never been.
I've
You're
never been to an
crazy.
IKEA.
Can we meet up? I feel
Look,
like
I'm sorry, my furniture standards are so much higher than the rest.
I mean, if it makes you feel, the only time I ever went to IKEA was like a decade ago, and it was because like I like this girl, and she was like moving, and I was helping her like move her furniture, so I went to IKEA to pick up her furniture and move.
Listen,
I
it.
here's
feel
the
so
thing.
bad. Don't
People,
That
don't do
happens. That
You should've
happens.
Been, you should have been like, go get your own furniture. I'm out. Then she would have been like, he's so bad. I want
can't
him in
go
the worst.
there.
That would have done it for you.
I have IKEA
Furniture.
shelving right behind me, so I can't complain. I mean,
those are some IKEA
we have
bookshelves.
an IKEA bed, and we've had that bed for like probably 20 years now.
It didn't break.
No, it's still
It's,
together.
it's made out of particle board and hope. Like, how does those things not break?
That's my life.
Particle board
It's
is all.
also made out of the same things.
Brian and I have been together for 14 years, and he had that bed for probably 4 or 5 years before we met. So
Wow.
Ew,
Jeez.
that's like a nasty bed.
not the
Okay, the mattress I
the bed
assumed.
frame. The mattress is new.
That's a
okay?
nasty bed. Ooh,
Listen.
that's a nasty bed.
When you go to IKEA, you can't just go to buy furniture. All right? You go for the experience. You have to do the IKEA experience. It's like going to Disneyland and just buying a hot dog.
All right, can I make a
Take us
suggestion?
through the 3D world with Krendor. That's
Yeah,
what
I know
want.
this is way far off. I know it's
Right.
not for a while. BlizzCon 2017. We
Right.
just don't go the first day. All of us go on an outing to IKEA. We spend the day at IKEA.
I'm
And look, I've been to BlizzCons before. Same damn games. Not the same thing. Let's go. Go to IKEA. We have an
I'm
IKEA
down.
adventure.
Yeah. We'll just hit up the media area the next day, play everything.
Yeah, play everything. No one's gonna be there.
I mean,
IKEA. I'm just putting it out there.
IKEA would love you guys because everybody would just show up at BlizzCon and be like, where is everybody? Where is it? IKEA's like, we need more staff.
Dude,
And then we go
One of
to Portillo's afterwards.
one of the best things you got to do, you go to IKEA, you just sit in a room, and you wait to see when someone else walks into your room. Nobody does.
Oh,
They'll wait there for like half an hour. Nobody will walk into your room because they feel like they're gonna violate it.
I want to take a group of people and go play D&D in a room in IKEA.
You probably could.
yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
That sounds
They
really,
probably sponsor it.
yeah, that sounds like a really good
Brilliant.
idea. Like
This is-
everybody
this
just
is
gathered
great.
around, hosted on Twitch, whatever. That sounds amazing.
Do you want me to reach out to them for you? I'll make this happen.
That sounds amazing. Let's
This
do
is literally
this.
like my life.
Let's
what I
do
do all
this.
day is make stuff happen. Like,
We're all showing up in Chicago just to make it convenient for Krendor.
oh, and
so
I
we
get
can
to see my family. I'm down.
What was that? Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
You're all
There
out
you
of
go.
control.
Drive.
Say, Krendor
I'm
and I
a
need to
great
meet up
driver.
because
Let me
all my
tell you.
family's there.
I'm a
Sorry,
great driver. I'll drive.
We,
Oh,
we
yeah,
believe you,
you can
Krendor. We all believe you.
he's a great driver.
I'm a
Great
great driver
driver.
too. I'm a great driver too. Uber.
Wait,
Yeah.
Krendor, you have to do the 420 line.
Wait, what?
I can drive anything.
I can drive anything.
I drive anything, including my
I
car.
forgot. He forgot.
Listen, it's been like a month and a half. I don't remember any of this.
I know.
Oh.
Well, that's why we'll wrap it right around right now. That's why we're doing a
Yep.
soft reboot today, everybody. If you don't
Yeah,
know why it's
Right
called,
around.
it's called Star Wars Resurgence Week 1. Everything that's happened has still happened. We're not wiping away the history. We're just pushing the story forward.
Yes.
A few months. I hope Jesse, at the very least, read what happened to his character. Did you?
Oh, I don't know what's going on. What am I here for?
Okay,
you,
right.
you open up Skype and you read what that says, sir.
No.
You open up Skype.
I
And
got
in the
a question.
meanwhile, we'll just
No,
waste
no,
some more
you
Pop
want me to
Tarts. It's no
You
problem.
want me to read it?
Yeah. Well, you need to just because you need to know what
No.
happened and where
You
you're
want me to
looking.
read in the style of the awful Clone Wars guy?
Go
Sure,
for
you know,
it.
you
Go
you
for it.
Go right ahead. You go right
Play the
ahead.
video again.
Yeah,
I
I
already-
need this.
Being over it.
Chaos on Katamine.
Chaos on Katamine! Many months had passed after what was being reported as an assassination attempt on the senator of a certain colony. Quickly taken care of and imprisoned. Nareem, the Bothan diplomat, after spending a month in prison, was sold off to her family back into the Cold War space and never seen again. Katamine found it more profitable to disable and dismember the battle droid with Destination 420 and quickly took him apart after deconstruction. After destruction, he was out of big and then closed the trader. Prince went immediately and put stray blaster shots at him, and then he died. He got shot, and he's dead now. Orbo spent the longest time in prison, but because he had so much sweet, sweet spice, he was okay. And he has 3 girlfriends now in canon. It was before he could leave prison, but he and his 3 girlfriends were pretty okay because it wasn't really prison. It was actually a tree house in the middle of the woods, and they were left alone. And he's a badass. And then across the galaxy, 3 strangers found themselves with new acquisition: a rundown, gutted, barely intact B1 battle droid at a discount price. But who are these weirdos? And why are they not nearly as cool as Werbo? Find out next time on the shitty Clone Wars.
I'm cool.
Oh my god.
There you go. Perfect. It's done.
Oh,
I'm still cool.
Debatable.
man.
Highly debatable.
All right.
The worst part is when I originally sent to Mathis, okay, this is what's happening, and then Mathis sent back to me, okay, let me just Star Wars this up so it sounds very Star Warsy. I was actually on the phone with him, and I actually read it back to him doing the Star Wars voice too, and he was just kind of like, Jesus, Scott. Oh, awesome. All right, so.
But you let him finish it, though, right? You let him go through the whole story.
Oh, no.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I got cut off. My voice wasn't nearly as impressive. So, all right. So let's pick it up exactly where we had said at the end of that crawl. Somewhere far across the galaxy, we have a few forms huddled around, 3 or 4 forms huddled around a dismembered and quickly being reformed 420. So we're actually going to pick up the scene with 420 finally coming online. And it's going to take a few moments for you to kind of like calculate how much time has passed since the last time you were.
All right, just
you were
like real
dismantled.
life.
Kendall wakes up. It's a few minutes. Like, how do I? What?
Wakes up after a bender. So
Bender, the
you
robot.
so you come online and you look up and you see that there are 3 people immediately standing over you, holding parts of you together. When you come online, you look up and you see them. There's going to be 2 humans and where is it?
Duros.
2 humans and a Celestin standing over you as you're doing this. When you come online and you look up and you see this male and female human and this male Celestin over you, you notice that your chest cavity is still open. There are a couple of loose wires hanging out, and one of your arms, your right arm in fact, is still off to the side, not quite assembled back onto your body yet. It's just kind of sitting there off to the side. And then somebody's actively trying to, out of those 3 people, reattach your foot. It has not completed doing so. You can't see it, but you do hear the whoops and the whirs of an astromech droid behind you, going about, and its engines moving as it's going about moving around. So as you are coming to, one of the people, it's actually the one of the male human, is like, oh, it's coming online. It's 420. Do anything, say anything, or is he just kind of like taking in the moment?
Whoop.
420 says,
Yeah.
Okay. As long as it's not like a shoop, like this is no salt and pepper going on here.
No.
Okay, so
he's like Bub Rub, little Bub.
so he says whoop, and that pulls the attention of everybody else looking at the thing, and you hear again the astromech droid kind of like whirring and making its way around. As it comes around and starts immediately having its little pincers or whatever go forward and start reattaching some of the wires that are in your chest cavity and trying to get everything to happen. Little sparks going off, and you feeling like little twitches or whatever as you have these sparks happening. You see that it's actually an R1 astromech droid that is working on you. The people that are over you, the Celestin looks down at you and says, "Can you hear me? Can you see this?"
Yeah. Yeah.
It's speech modulator is in fact working. That's good. And he goes down and he also starts working on the wires with the R1 droid. The R1 droid seems to be stuck at what it was working on for a second, like twitching and like rocking back and forth. It kind of like smacks one of the levers and twitches itself, and then continues doing the job that it was doing. He shakes his head as he reaches into the chest cavity and continues playing with the wires and whatnot. The person that was working on your foot, this is the female human that was working on your foot, now has it fully reattached, and you can actually feel it. It's like the system comes online, you can start moving it, and she gets up and goes over to start grabbing the arm. After a few moments, the Celestian looks up at you and says, what's your designation?
Designation? Kill.
What?
Kill.
Let me see that data pad. I need to do diagnostics on this. And she hands him the data pad as she's walking back over with the arm. And he plugs a couple wires into you, and it's just to kind of hard line in, and starts doing some diagnostics and checking through the systems. As this is happening, and 420 is kind of like analyzing the situation, very confused with what's going on. You hear the sounds of boots on metal, because you notice that you are in fact inside a ship. It's actually a rather large ship. The area of the ship that you're in, I mean, the ceiling is up by several meters. The width of the ship is considerable. Like there is so much space inside here, where the people are kind of hunched over you. Now, after hearing these boot prints, the boot steps, you look past one of the girl that's working on your arm, that was kind of working on your leg before, and you see that the entryway of the ship is open and somebody's walking up it. So in fact, two people walking up it. One is a human who's wearing kind of a duster, making their way up there, and another is another human, so it's a male, another human, a female, who's wearing finer clothing, but not like very nice or anything like that, also making their way up. So as they start walking forward, one of them speaks up.
You see the guy with the duster. He's a black duster. He has his head is shaved on the side with longer hair on top and a tight ponytail. He's got a goatee, and he's carrying what looks like glass bottles of drinks. And with some heavy steps, he starts walking over, and he kind of like looks up and over like he's trying to see the robot, and he sees his lights flashing and stuff. He looks over to the female next to him and smiles, and takes a few steps. He's like, "You got it working?"
Yes, sir. It's online. I'm just. It seems to want to kill things at the moment, so I'm just running a diagnostics and seeing if I need to do a full wipe.
You see like a quick toothy smile, and he's like, "No, it sounds about right." He takes a few steps over, gets close to the people, and starts handing out glass bottles. Like they're alcohol, clearly, and he has one for himself, and looks them each in the eye, and then looks back at the bot. Is it operational enough? Do you need to do more work on it, or is it just kind of routine maintenance?
Yes. It's. I mean, we need to continue getting it back together, make sure everything's the systems are online and whatnot. Of course, sir. But it does seem to have a proclivity for murder. I do have a couple of restraining bolts that I can go and grab from.
Oh no. I'll look to the battle droid. 420, correct?
Roger.
I nod approvingly. I raise my glass bottle to a cheers for all of them.
I raise my bottle.
Do they raise theirs as well?
The Celestian doesn't. He just kind of continues doing what it is that he's doing before.
But the others do?
Everybody else does.
So I reach out, kind of do a cheers, take a sip. You're all fired. And I put my bottle down.
What? And the girl that was literally in the middle of attaching the arm, she's like, what? And she literally, like, you feel, Krendor, 420 feels a shock. His whole body twitches as she, like, makes a connection and whatnot. And everybody's just kind of like, what the hell? As this is happening. Of course, Maggie, you see this happening as well.
Am I the other girl?
Yes.
Am I the girl? Okay, I figured because you were explaining. Okay.
Do I have a capable gun yet?
Wait, am I
you do
fired
not.
too?
Damn.
No, you're not.
Okay.
It's the
that's
three of them. I gesture to the three of them, and I'm like, you're all fired, with like a smile, and I take a swig.
So as you're saying that, a Duros male comes walking into the place, seeming to have heard that as well, and he's like, "Oh, what's the cause of celebration here?"
An end of a job well done.
Oh, we're getting paid?
You're being let go.
What?
I take another swig.
And he looks at you like he kind of like stops short with where he is, and everybody else is still like murmuring amongst themselves, like, the hell's going on here? What is this? And the Duros that walked in kind of like stopped short, and he's not looking very happy at all. And his hand slowly starts to reach down to where he has a blaster pistol in its holster, and he's like, "We're getting paid."
Of course you're getting paid. You're also being fired. Severance, whatever you call it. You're done. It's been great.
I'll take severance. He says, and he's kind of like eyes you up and down, like he's not entirely sure. I'll just get my things. And then he turns and walks back out of the area. Everybody else is kind of like complaining to themselves or whatnot, but realizing that you're just being very callous about this, very cavalier about it. They kind of make their way out of the room. You also notice the astromech droid is also making its way out of the room as well.
Rhino, no, you stay. I don't pay you, Rhino.
The Celestian replies saying, R1N0, sir, R1N0. And continues doing his repairs on the B1 battle.
As he walks away, I walk over to Rhino and I put my hand on him like, Rhino, your name's Rhino.
It goes down and continues putting the arm back on and everything for 420. Maggie, would you like to describe yourself really quickly?
Yeah, sure.
And react.
And definitely react. So she's kind of wearing like what you'd see like a doctor wearing or something like that. Like it's kind of like a duster, but more, it's like white and it looks a little nicer-ish.
Mm-hmm.
She has short reddish brown hair and she has like a little scar on her lip, and she's like, she wears glasses, and that's kind of all you can tell for now. I guess whenever later, if she ever takes her jacket off or anything, she does have like a tattoo on her arm, and you'll find out later what that is. Yeah, I think that's primarily it.
I have a feeling it's a great axe that has like pictures of waves on it.
That would be more Grommen style.
Yeah. Awesome. So how does she react to what she just watched transpire? She's relatively new to this captain.
Yeah, so the whole time he's doing this, she's like drinking and like, oh my gosh. And as everyone files out, she looks over at, what's your name again?
Candor.
She looks over at Candor and says, did you have to say it with such a smile?
It's easiest to rip the Band-Aid off, let the pain get over with quickly. They'll find another job. They're a decent crew. Besides, I don't need that big crew anymore. I'm done with this ship. We're moving off to something smaller, a little bit more mobile.
I randomly interrupt and I'm like, fire! Fire! I'm trying to shoot stuff, but I don't have a gun.
Listening to what you're saying and interested, the Celestin says, another ship?
Yes, another ship.
And I can just continue looking down, doing what he's doing. And what might I ask this ship is?
If you were being paid, I'd tell you.
I imagine that I am going to continue being paid. Usually you find yourself in situations wherein you wouldn't survive if I wasn't getting paid.
Wait, am I keeping this guy?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought he was one of the ones being let go. Duros, Celestins are all the same.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. You know, scrawny Skeletor-looking blue people and the big-lipped, wrinkly-faced guys. All the same.
All the same.
Short and pudgy. Yeah, yeah.
We're moving to a Gitrock 720.
And might I ask what condition the ship is in?
Flyable.
Awesome.
I actually
just...
Yeah.
Yep.
No, go ahead.
He continues finishing 420, and when he's done, he's going to help 420 up off the floor.
I'm just gonna kind of walk over and like tap him and be like, 420. Man, this thing has been through so much.
But
Still a little twitchy, I see. And I'll walk over next to you. You've been out of commission for quite a while, 420, and had to hunt you down, but they were selling you off cheap. I hope that doesn't hurt your feelings.
You
feelings?
know what they say? One man's trash is another man's treasure.
What are feelings?
True enough. Well, we're taking you, and you're coming with us, 420. We found one of your friends. We're going to rescue him, I guess.
Friends. What's a friend?
Companion, partner in murder, maybe, is something better.
Oh,
Werbo. The Wookiee?
Warbo. Or Wookiee? I only know one Wookiee. And he hit me on the ladder.
You see Candor smile, and he nods. Like, yeah, that one. We're going to rescue him. Empire has him.
Empire.
Well,
Okay.
at least some of his memories are coming back.
Yeah. I mean, he's been out of commission for what? 3-4 months, maybe?
I'm gonna go over to the table and look at like the log that we have so far of like what has been worked on him.
So you go over to the log of you're talking about 420. So you go over to the log and you kind of like ask the Celestin for it, and he gives it to you. Just so you know, Maggie, you would know. His name is DeWitt. So you ask DeWitt for it, and he hands it over to you, and you look, and you can see that there was a considerable amount of work that they had to do to get him back together. I mean, we're talking parts of his insides, like lots of his wires and whatnot were taken out, and the captain had given a very explicit orders to try to get every single solitary part that was his back as much as possible. And you can see that they were about 98% accurate in what it was that they had tried to do, and at least what they believe they were trying to do, because some of the parts were retrofitted anyway. So, no, do what you can. And they did a considerable amount of work to get him to the state that he's in right now, which is up and running and seemingly having his memory intact.
Okay.
So I'm like gesturing like, hey, we should get out of here. And I see and hear like skittering out in the background, like amongst like boxes and stuff. And as the camera pans over, you can see like a little brown hood poking out. This little short creature's like messing with things. And I run over. I'm like, fucking damn it. And I start mumbling to myself, and I walk over like, hey, what the hell's his name? I look back to Doc. Whatever. Hey, small.
What's his name?
Freaking.
You don't know his name.
Yeah.
Oh.
Little Jawa creature.
I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. What was that? Let's not. Whoa. For the viewers, let's not rush over that. What was that?
Whoa. What was what?
How does he talk again?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, I didn't hear. Sorry, I need it for context. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's racist as shit.
I know you were gonna do that.
So you see his head poke up and like little yellow eyes looking over, and I was like, "No, off the ship! You're fired. You're not being paid anymore."
And he goes over. He picks up something and he starts like walking across the cargo area and like puts it where it's supposed to be on the shelf and starts
No, ship. And I start like gesturing off the ship. You're fired. No more money.
He throws it like on one of like the opening area and presses a button and a trapdoor opens and it just like falls out onto the ground beneath.
Damn it.
You know that was a rather expensive piece of cargo you were hoping to sell.
Good God, Doc, do you speak this language?
I don't know if I do. Do I speak that
No.
language? I don't think I do.
I like exasperated, like throw my hands up. I like go over to him and I'm just like, you, and then I point to the exit. Leave.
And he makes his way over to the area, and like he's walking straight for the door, and then he turns and goes up to the control panel that's over there and starts pressing buttons on the control panel and makes the lift start to close.
No, down. Oh, fucking hell. I run over. I like mess with the controls to bring it back down. I was like, you know what? Whoever buys this ship gets an extra bargain. They get you. And I just walk. I like look to Doc in 420. Our ship's that way. Just goodbye. And I like wave to the Jawa with a smile, like goodbye. Have a good one. And I just leave.
Okay. And you leave. I imagine it takes. Sorry, what is her name again? I will memorize it. I'm sorry. Don't tell me. I'll find it. Don't tell me. Which one of those names do you go by?
Doc.
So Doc.
Just so you guys know, viewer-wise, her name is actually Skykeely Lundori, but.
Oh, AKA. Ha. It says
Yeah.
AKA in all caps. I should know what that means. I'm like, well, there's 4 names there. No, it's 2.
No, it's just
It's just 2.
the first and last name. And then
Yep.
She goes
So
by
so
Aka.
Doc.
so what Doc is
No
going
one
to.
can say her name right ever.
Okay.
What Doc needs to go do is go and collect her things, because I mean, she had heard just moments beforehand that she's not going to be on the ship anymore, but doesn't have her stuff on her, so she goes and grabs her pack and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my pack. So I have a bunch of like medical tools. I have a medical bag and some other things. So I'm just carrying all of this with me.
Awesome. So as you guys are kind of gathering up your things, and 420 is really trying to grab his bearings and find out exactly what's going on here, and wondering when the hell he's going to get a rifle. Don't worry, that is safely secured, locked inside one of the crates that that Kander has ready to be transported over to the new ship.
420, he like looks a little upset, like he's like, fire, and I'm like, don't worry, we'll get your weapons online.
So as all they're kind of getting their things together and making their way over to the new ship so they can start setting up there and doing what they need to do, we're actually going to pan the camera many light years away from where this is taking place over to a prison cell. It's actually not a cell exactly, because he's not currently locked in the cell. He was actually just recently released from solitary confinement. We have Werbo, who is misbehaving, and the fact that a couple of the Imperial guards had tried to, force him to do labor, and he misbehaved, and they zapped him a bunch of times with stunning sticks, like gaffy sticks or whatever, zapped him a bunch of times, and threw him in solitary for a few days. And now he's back out of solitary, and he's over at the area where he's supposed to help working on this. It looks like a space station. You honestly aren't entirely sure what it is, Jesse, that you're on right now. So if you could do me a favor and make me I'll go over to the skill check area. What would this be? Not education check.
An education check? It's a woman. Great. Yeah. Okay.
And you got a failure. Yeah, you got a failure. So you are not able to identify exactly, as you've been on this thing for like forever, you've not been able to identify what it is that you're, where it is that you are, what it is that's going on here. So all you know is that they put you in a room.
It's just two threats, right? I didn't fail.
No, you failed.
Without any successes, it's a failure.
But like, I didn't fail.
No, you did not get anything really bad happen, Jesse. You failed.
Okay, good. Yeah, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
It's not working. I just don't know.
Yeah. So it's not like an airlock opens up and your brain goes flying through your,
out my head. Head.
So what is it? So you're putting back into this chamber where there's a whole bunch of, we're gonna say, employees that are given the task of working on this part of the ship. And so their job is to help repair the walls here and making sure all the computers in here are up and running and whatnot. And so you're there with these other employees working on the ship, being watched over by armed and armored Imperial troops. What is it that Werbo does as soon as he's kind of like released into this large area? And it is a large area. It's actually a large hallway.
Have I been given any tools, or like what is my assignment in this large area?
So everybody has different skills that they know what their best skills are. So they kind of just have been taking, it seems like they've just been taking people and shoving them into rooms and just like, go do your task and be useful, else you'll be punished. Because that's the way we handle employees. And you were put in there, you were not handed any tools, but there are a bunch of them lying around on the ground and whatnot.
Werbo picks up a wrench.
Okay, picks up a wrench.
Space wrench.
A space wrench, of course.
I believe it's a spanner, is what.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I pick up a spanner.
Okay. Now, Jesse, I have a feeling before you make whatever action it is that you want to make, and I'm sure you got some wonderful idea that's going on here.
Yeah.
Are we missing a detail?
Oh yeah, force points.
Why don't we all roll force pants?
Pants? I love force pants.
Force
pants.
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 Roll
Force pants.
pants.
It's like, you get those skinny jeans, because I know all about skinny jeans.
I like the skinny jeans that are also multicolored. So like the bottom's a little bit whiter and the top's like black, and it's like, I'm so hip and so tight that even my jeans lose color at the bottom.
Okay, one,
Dang,
those rolls are
that's
very
hip
much in
and
your
tight.
favor, and two, I have never worn skinny jeans and don't think I don't think I can get my arm in them.
Hip
You know?
and tight. That is how I describe myself.
Hip and tight.
All right, 4 light side and 2 dark side points. Let's see exactly how hip and tight Werbo is.
Yeah, so Werbo takes a spanner and goes to work.
Oh.
Care to elaborate on what you mean by that?
Oh, he goes to span some wrench and sprockets. He goes to span sprockets on the space station because he's
naming like
he's at
Nomer
work
Gun.
and there's stormtroopers, and all I have is a spanner. He's not stupid.
He like looks over at the other person, sees what they're doing. He's like,
Jesse, could you do me a favor? In 1 second, could you make for me a mechanics check?
Sure, I guess.
So you're doing more harm than good over here, and in seeing this happen, you're doing more harm than good. One of the other employees kind of goes over and is like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you, stupid?"
Warbo roars at him and then challenges him to a game of chesty punch. It's a game in the prison where you stick out your chest and then you each punch each other. And whoever gives up first wins or loses.
So he doesn't understand a word of what it is that you just said to him. So he just kind of turns fully to you, squaring off a bit. And he's like, "Listen, if you're going to be stupid, you're going to make it so that we get in more trouble."
I punch him in the chest because we're playing chesty punch.
Of course. Werbo, would you like to make your chesty punch roll?
Yes. Chesty punch.
Okay. That was strange. So you chesty punch him. Sadly, no successes, so you don't do any damage to him, but you do successfully punch the guy.
We're playing chesty punch.
Of course. Well, you do punch him in the chest. You don't harm him.
Yeah.
However, you do kind of send him like down to his knees, like. However, you are intimidating enough that when a guard kind of like sees what's going on and makes his way over and is like, "Hey, what's going on over here?" He's going, "Oh no, nothing. I dropped my wrench and hurt my ribs. It's okay. It's okay."
What a fantastic line.
what an abusive relationship.
So he's kind of like watching this happen, and he's like, "Well, back to work. And he turns and makes his way back over to where he was before, and he's like, all right, listen, I'll just show you how to do it." And he gets up and
he's chest again. We're playing chesty punch. I want to use a force point too.
Oh god.
God.
Sounds like a spiked drink. Like, I'll have more chesty punch, please.
I want to use chesty punch with a force point. Thank you.
Add your force point. I'll add the upgrade, and
Some
I'm
chesty
afraid.
punch at Coxcon,
Force
Jesse.
point
Make it happen.
Right? Chesty punch at Coxcon.
and
God.
chesty punch. Go.
Oh,
Oh my god. Are you trying to be, out of curiosity, are you trying to be
You
lethal?
win.
I'm not trying to be lethal. I'm trying to chesty punch him. We're playing a game. He needs to give up. He needs to say he's done.
Jesse, I have to warn you. He doesn't say he's done because he's on the ground.
He's a prisoner too. He knows the rules of chesty punch. If anything, at this point, if he doesn't know, he's weak. Call him Kurt. Call him Kurd. That's right. That's what I said. Get him out of the Kurd. A Kurd is a space herd of space mammoths. A Kurd. It's all
It's like
canon.
a cheese curd.
Yeah. In space, cheese curds are roaming bands of cheese that fly through space.
Oh my gosh, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, except they eat you instead of you eat them.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
horrifying.
he's lying on the ground, wheezing and gasping for breath. He may have broken a couple of his ribs with this chesty. You have a 4 brawl or brawn or whatever it's called. So yeah, So he's lying on the ground, gasping for breath with probably broken ribs and whatnot. But in seeing this, the guard's like, "Hey, you! What's going on over here?" And as the guard's making his way over at you, lowering his rifle, getting ready to attack at you, what is it that Werbo does?
Werbo cheers because he clearly won chesty punch. He's like,
As this happens, as Werbo is like cheering and happy that he won chesty punch, all of a sudden, Werbo feels the stinging taste of electricity around one of his arms, around the bicep of one of his arms, as an electromagnetic whip wraps around one of his arms and starts shocking him like really, really badly. You can make me an endurance roll really quickly, Werbo, in 1 second. Make me an endurance roll. Go right ahead.
Where is just endurance? What is that?
It is. Is it called endurance or is it called something else?
No, it definitely isn't endurance.
It's not survival, streetwise, vigilance. What the hell is it called? I thought it was called endurance. My apologies.
Survival? No.
No, it's definitely not survival. I guess vigilance.
Okay.
I thought no resilience. It's resilience. Resilience, not endurance. Resilience.
All right.
There you go. I said. the wrong
Holy
ones.
Jesus!
Ah!
So
Hustler.
Warbo,
Beast that chesty bump.
the whip hits his arm, and he wraps his arm around the electric whip and pulls the guy towards him, and chesty punches him.
Okay, so you start pulling the guy towards you, and as you kind of like turn to see who it is that you're pulling towards you, you see this strange-looking creature. It's standing on hind legs. It almost looks kind of like a cat-like creature. The creature in front of you has a fur that's kind of like gray in color and has like sharp blue eyes. The eyes themselves are very large and again, somewhat cat-like, not the slit cats, but the circle cat eyes for all of you people that know all of the cats in the world. So it kind of comes pulling towards you. You're pulling it, it towards you. However, it is very easily able to match your strength and doesn't get pulled nearly as hard as you thought you were going to be able to do. And it pulls back quite hard itself. Do me a favor and make me an brawl check. Awesome. So actually, even though you're able to you're pulling back and forth with this guy, you are able to pull half the distance between where he was and where he is and where you are. So he's kind of jumped forward quite a bit. But this creature is not some puny little weak creature, and it's like hissing at you as you're doing this. It also pulls out from its belt another strange-looking object. It's almost looks like a cylinder, and as it's holding the cylinder, it clamps down on it, and you see another whip, electromagnetic whip, pop out on the other side, and he starts whipping it around and getting ready to attack at you again. At the same time, the guard that was coming from behind quickly flips his blaster to stun and starts blasting at Warbo from behind with stun damage.
Warbo swings the cat man or lady, cat person, at the guard, using its own whip against it.
There's a fulcrum.
Yes.
Okay, you do me a favor. Roll me once again a brawl check for this.
Oh my goodness!
How is that possible? How is that possible?
It does not work out very well, and he gets that.
Nothings. How's that possible?
Cats make that awful noise when you pull their tail, like they.
I don't. I don't.
Yeah, it's horrible. See,
My cat doesn't do that. My cat's just like.
Meow. Your cat is you in cat form, Grendor.
Aw.
Or is it Kren cat? Is that a Kren cat?
Yeah,
So
cat for short.
You mean
yeah,
friend
that's
dog?
right.
Friend
Yeah.
dog?
I'm
So
Frendoge.
he whips the whip around and wraps it around the wrist of your other arm, and he's kind of holding his arms kind of wide in a rather strong stance with his legs to try to keep your arms as far apart as possible. As once again, the guard behind you is trying to blast at you with the stunner getting closer and closer, so it's a more direct hit each time.
Warbo goes full chesty punch on the person with the whip, on the cat person with the whip, and just goes like at. I want to run, and close range, and then punch him in the chest.
Absolutely. So you're able to make your brawl check to do this.
Wow!
What?
You succeed.
Despite the odds.
Yeah, like boop. Hey. You got-
What? Despite the odds. Okay. Well, actually, the odds are in your favor there. So you come rushing forward. So once again, like loosening the grip of the whip and kind of like seeing this happening, he does what he can to like pull the whips in such a way that it widens his grip and tries to reduce some of the strength that Warbo has. However, Warbo takes the one that's only grabbed by the bicep, swings forward, and does give a nice smash into the guy's chest. He takes it. Oof. But it doesn't seem to affect him very much. He's wearing some pretty solid armor, so even though it does hurt him, it doesn't hurt him as much as maybe it would have otherwise. So he takes the hit into his chest, and then the guard from behind comes behind Warbo and continues blasting at him with the stunner. But at this point in time, finally 2 other guards are able to come over and blast at him with the stunner a few more times. Eventually, Warbo's will is broken and his body is overcome and he falls to the ground. And standing over Warbo's like limp body at the moment, is kind of like fading in and out of consciousness. You hear this creature, whatever it is, say to the other guards, "Leave this one with me. I will teach it some obedience."
Yo, we gonna bang?
Whoa. Whoa.
Like, look, I'm okay with it, but you know,
Could you at least
space
ask me
foreplay
first?
is a little bit different. I get it. I get it.
Could you do me a favor before I pan the camera away
for
from you?
doing it? Yes.
No. Roll me xenology, and that's not for biology, okay?
Yeah. Just to figure out what this thing is.
Yep. Okay. And Jesse, I'm pretty sure you know what it is.
Like weird cat person? No, I have no clue what this is.
Oh, it's a Zygarian. They are Zygarians. So you're actually able to identify this race as a Zygarian. They are large, so with the Z. They are large and scary cat things that are, in fact, very strong. Since you didn't know, I will allow you to roll an outer rim check for me really quickly to see.
Oh, these are the cat people from Clone Wars. Oh, God, I hated that entire arc. What a terrible arc. That's when the Cat Queen tries to seduce Anakin Skywalker.
It's so sad.
And
It's
like,
so sad.
and then, yeah, oh, it's terrible. Terrible. Please. It's terrible.
There's only like 3 good arcs in the entire series, though. So, I mean, to say that this was a terrible arc, it's just kind of like, oh, par for the course. Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
but they're slavers, so it makes entire sense.
You're able to roll me a outer rim check to see what role they play.
Oh boy, outer rim check?
Mm-hmm. And Werbo does in fact know that they were slavers. He knows that because there was a number of them that were on Shiri work working
He's
with the
seen Clone
Empire.
Wars. He's seen that entire series.
He saw that arc.
He knows, yeah.
He knows somewhere around there's some cat frothing at the mouth for a half-burnt, arm, limb missing Anakin.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Actually, not anymore. Spoilers. Spoilers. Not anymore. She ain't.
You don't know. You don't know her. You don't
Spoilers,
know.
Not no more. She ain't. Not no more. She ain't.
All right. With that, we're gonna pan the camera back over to the rest of the crew, getting on their new ship. And just so everybody knows what new ship that they are going to have to be flying on, it is a Gitrok Industrial Class 720 freighter. This is the new ship that they are going to be getting on. And as the crew gets onto the ship, and it actually has a decent size number of people that it can carry and whatnot, and still a decent sized cargo space, even if it's considerably smaller cargo than the ship that you had before. The ship is also a whole class size smaller, which is nicer, and that's probably the reason why he switched to this ship. As a matter of fact, as you're walking over to the ship, because maybe Doc didn't know what a Gitrok Industrial Class 720 freighter was. Maybe she didn't know because she's not a shipping agent. You know what I mean? This is a rather new life choice for her. So you're making your way over to the ship, and you can see that it's sea turtle style. Might be a pretty one to look at compared to the other one. But realistically, if you're running a shipping job, this is probably a huge downsize. Would Doc question Candor about this?
Yeah, sure. We see the ship. She's a beauty, but is this really gonna work for this job?
What job are you speaking of specifically, Doc?
Well, isn't it a shipping job?
Was a shipping job.
Was.
Taking a detour.
She starts, sorry, I was...
No, it's fine.
She pulls out like a piece of paper with like the details of what you had sent her via like message, and she's like, I didn't see an update to the itinerary.
I'm not really formal. I don't like paperwork so much. I mean, you do the paperwork to get the legalities out of the way, but things change on the fly with me, often. We're gonna go and, do some good.
Well, I'm all for doing good, but maybe you could fill me in on what that might be.
There's I kind of gestured to 420, who I'm assuming is like, as he's like still fiddling with wires and walking up onto the ship. Like I said, 420. I found his other friend, and kind of want to go get him. I owe him. He doesn't know that yet, but I owe him.
And I know where that is, because I know that story. Okay. Where's the location of that?
Do you, I'm assuming you'll say that like out loud, like where's the location?
No, I mean, I wanted her to say it actually, like the location. So we're going to blah blah, but I wanted to remember.
You know, yeah, we were going to the space station orbiting Sakaar.
Sakaar.
Yeah,
okay.
You would know that.
So I mentioned, so we're going to, and I mentioned that.
Yep. He nods and is like, the station that's orbiting the planet, that's where he's being held right now. Used to be owned by the Hut. Giaz, I believe is her Hut's name. I owe her a favor. So kind of 2 birds, 1 stone situation. We're gonna go and free some slaves. 1 slave in particular, but if other slaves get free, I mean, what am I gonna do? Stop them?
Well, why wouldn't we free them all?
I'm just there for 1.
But if we can free them all, why wouldn't we free them all?
I mean, we can. Like I said, I'm not gonna stop them if they try.
What's the plan? Let's get on the ship, and then you can fill me in on the plan.
Yeah, I nod, and like, sounds good to me.
Wraps this up and puts the paper back in.
And I actually, like, I'll walk up and I'll stop and I'll look back to Doc. And 420's weapons are still locked?
Currently.
Good, keep him that way. And then he walks up that way. He walks up the ramp.
So you guys make your way up the ramp, and you make your way over to the cockpit as you had seen beforehand when you kind of like walked through here and did your initial check and everything. Everything seems to be good to go. You know that you do have your pilot, Asala, Purvey with you. It's a human female. This is the pilot that you had hired forever ago, and you intend to keep her on board because she's considerably better than you are. DeWitt makes his way onto the ship eventually, finally getting everything else that he needs to be transported over, having somebody from the docking area transport the stuff that he needs over. He comes making his way up with R1N0, and as R1N0 is trying to make his way up the ramp and into this thing, or up one of the things, it kind of like spits and sparks a bunch of times and kind of like breaks down. And he's like, and like Neil gets down to a knee and opens the things up and plays with a couple of things. And by the time like he's actually fully inside the ship, it's up and running and starts moving off very quickly, off into one of the corners, kind of clips one of the doorways as it moves too quickly, and then kind of whirs off doing whatever it is that it's doing. And he kind of like goes about his business. Yep.
Yeah, I'll say, as you like, before we cut to break, like as the ramp is closing up on the ship, in the distance, you hear, OTD! And this guy with like a bunch of parts starts running over towards the ship and like scrambling on top of the ship. And Caden's like, no. And then the thing closes up and the Jawa like falls into the ship with like all of his bits. And you just hear like, you hear muffled like swearing from Candor as you hear like the engine start up.
And then you see me kind of like smiling in the background.
All right, so with that, we will cut to break. When we come back, we'll have a smidge of information, and then we'll jump forward.
Sounds good. We'll be back in about 5 minutes, guys. Week 1, Star Wars Resurgence. See you in a minute.